All right, welcome back to the fourth and final round of Magic here at Guardian Games. We're playing Modern, and we're here every Monday at 6:30. This is Travis Cooper hanging out from Portland Paper, along with our producer,
Ian.
who is busily typing away the names and decks of our matches. But I have this knowledge already and can tell you that we have Grixis Shadow versus Humans, which should be a pretty interactive and interesting last match here. And we have 4 players in this event that are X and O. Our 2 Hardened Scales players that we have previously seen are playing at a table here, and then we have this table.
So Hardened Scales really living up to some hype. All right. So Travis,
Yes?
which side of this matchup would you like to be on?
Oh, I feel like I want to be on the side that wins a die roll.
I think that's fair. I kind of like Humans, but maybe it's recency bias since the last time we watched this last week. I believe Humans won.
I think Shadow sometimes can have problems assembling enough threats that you don't get blown out by Reflector Mage, and without a Battle Rage draw, it can be challenging to get through damage if you're reliant on Death Shadows without opening up yourself to just dying by a couple, like Thalia's Lieutenants and Mantis Riders hanging out.
Agreed. I also think a Meddling Mage naming the right card can be backbreaking in this matchup.
Yeah, Kite Self Freebooter plus Meddling Mage seems even better.
Snow-covered plains.
And we get a snow-covered plains into Aether Vial. Any advantage for the snow-covered plains here?
Oh yeah, I'm sure there's some huge advantage, like if Andrew is playing Predict, which you can't play in Modern.
Yet, you can't play it yet.
Yep, definitely coming out in Modern Horizons.
Okay, we get a Thoughtseize for Andrew, and it looks like we have a Mantis Rider, a Phantasmal Image, an Aether Vial, and a Thalia's Lieutenant. And an Asian Ziggurat.
Let's take the image.
Wow, Andrew chooses the image.
Also, if Manny's playing a one of Gifts Ungiven, then he can fetch for both a Plains and a snow-covered Plains.
The old Gifts Ungiven in the Humans deck.
Ancient Ziggurat.
So I bet we're going to get a turn 2 Vial. Thalia's Lieutenant would be much better if you can play a human and then activate the Aether Vial with some triggers on the stack.
Looks like maybe 2 Lieutenants in hand and a Mantis Rider on Manny's side.
Gonna activate the Aether Vial.
Huh.
Get a Noble Hierarch out.
Get a Noble Hierarch off of an activation of an Aether Vial.
This is a
Thalia
super
Lieutenant.
solid Human's hand. He'll be able to tick that Vial up to 2. I guess if he draws a land, he can play the Mantis Rider as well.
Yeah, that Hierarch was probably one of the better draws there because it enables, it's going to enable Mantis Rider.
Oh yeah, good point. He doesn't even need to draw land.
It feels so much better when you're playing a Vial deck where you can actually curve out with your Aether Vial on 1, 2, and 3.
My mistake. It was not a second Thalia's Lieutenant, rather.
It's just a Vial
Aether
and a
Vial.
Mantis Rider, and Andrew takes that Mantis Rider, but is down at 14,
Go 12 and half you.
going to 12.
Pick up the Vial. Drop on the turn.
Curious why we would shock in a Blood Crypt to go to 12.
Yeah, that's interesting. He's either bluffing a piece of removal or actually has a piece of removal.
I feel like that is definitely, you're saying something. So we have an activation of the Vial, and we have a Meddling Mage, and it says Fatal Push.
You actually don't have a chance to respond. You can respond to the Aether Vial.
Okay.
Once the Aether Vial resolves, this is in play and it has to name something.
Okay.
We can call a judge if
Okay.
you want.
No, I believe you.
Okay, so it looks like Manny activated Vial. Andrew said, all right. And then Meddling Mage came down, and Andrew was thinking about casting something, but Manny says, I get to name a card first.
Hashtag Vile Tricks.
I will swing for.
Do you attack with one, or do you attack with both, Travis?
I attack with both.
I'm with you.
Coming in for 3.
Pass the turn.
Into your turn, I'll bolt make.
Ooh, that is very interesting. Andrew bolts Meddling Mage, so I imagine there's at least one Fatal Push in hand.
Yep. Man, he is out of gas. I mean, it always feels like Humans is one Mantis Rider top deck away from closing a game, but
Drew one too many Aether Vials, perhaps, but
Yeah.
the Devil Thoughtseize was very strong because usually Humans requires some amount of synergies are Mantis Rider, and Andrew was able to pull the Phantasmal Image, which interesting choice, but then also Mantis Rider, so no Lieutenant Shenanigans are Mantis Riders coming over.
right. There's a very real cost, though, of the life that's paid for those thought seizes. So, you know, from Manny's side, he is losing a card, but he's getting some boost to his aggressive game plan out of the deal.
All right, that was 2 Street Wraiths and a Thought Scour revealed off of that Kite Self Rebooter. So those also do have a cost.
Yeah.
That cost is 2 life. And we have a flyer now too, which can actually be hard for Andrew to deal with.
Yeah, he can't really brick wall flyers. Yeah, there is a point in this Death Shadow deck where a lot of your cards just become blank pieces of cardboard when you can, when your life total gets low enough that you just can't use them. Street Wraith being one of those cards until you manage to get 5 mana to hardcast it. It's just doing nothing.
All right, we're getting a Gurmag Angler in here and choosing to leave the bolt over the push.
Well, and Humans also the deck credited with pushing Grixis Death Shadow out of the meta during its heyday.
Swing for 2 in the air.
And that Hierarch doing some work with the Exalted trigger, and Manny on the triple Vial draw, which seems like Andrew's got 2 turns to deal with
Wobble wobble.
this Kite Self Rebooter.
Self. Swing for 5.
No blocks.
Well, you can't really not attack.
And pass to you.
You're leaving yourself dead to Athalia's Lieutenant.
Pile up.
Yeah, he's probably dead to enough things. That
Right? You do have to win the game.
Yep. Life total ain't getting any higher.
Yeah, we're not cycling that Street Wraith. Now you really do have to think if you attack or not, depending on what you're drawing.
Oh, I think I'm with Andrew. I think you just have to hope your opponent's got nothing, and maybe you TBR him next turn.
All at the same.
Snapcaster is an alright card to have picked up. Ooh, this is a really interesting call for Manny.
Andrew's body language is suggesting that he's not terribly concerned.
Andrew's saying, I got it. And
Go times.
whatever you think that it is, it's here.
Swing for 2.
Push it.
Alright, get a Fatal Push.
And I'll
And
Manny sitting on 2 lands?
I think so.
I thought I saw a cavern.
Well, there's 2 zombie fish in the graveyard.
Do you block if you're Manny here
No.
to not die to TBR?
I
You're just alright dying to TBR?
I think so.
Blocks. I'll go to 5.
Dodges it.
Pass to you.
Activate Vial.
Okay.
That's probably going to be good enough.
Well, we need another human. Maybe? Oh, this is such a tough one.
Attack with both. If Andrew has anything, though.
4 cards.
4 cards.
Did we see 2 Street Race the last time?
Vial.
Oh, is this the lieutenant?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, just Athalia.
I'll go to attacks.
I'm definitely swinging with...
I think just the hierarch, right?
Yes.
Because that's the one that you can... if you're going to lose one, you want to lose the hierarch because
Yep.
every other creature is going to be lethal.
Yep. I agree.
And this, if the hierarch dies, this is the only time it'll be lethal.
Swing for 3 with the champion.
I'll go to 1.
I suppose if he does play a Snapcaster to block it with this line, you don't lose a creature in the deal.
Well, but there is a lightning bolt in the graveyard.
Fair enough. Andrew with the storm art of the Urza Saga Islands.
Ooh. We paid full price for Dismember. So that is one of the lines where if Manny attacked with both creatures.
Keep thinking like,
Oh, he would have won.
I mean, it's so hard to know what's right to do, and that feels like the most corner case
All attack.
situation to have played out.
Yeah.
throw a hierarch in front of it.
Will TBR.
Wow.
All right,
Wow.
got the swing with the Battle Rage. So, curious what the rest of Andrew's hand was. We saw Andrew miss on land drops for a couple turns, so who knows what the other contents were, but that's the way to do it.
Yeah,
Like
Do
that
you
was really like
assume,
the only thing
was
I
that the
was
top
worried
deck
about it at
TBR
that
then?
point. Do I block here? No.
I-
If block here, then I'm gonna lose.
Who knows? Because there was a Vial on 3. Maybe you're playing around Reflector Mage. It's a tough one.
Oh well. So it goes.
That's, that's kind of the price with Vial, right? Is like, you're really hoping to just have one, and you get those games where you end up with 3. It definitely seems like, when I play Amulet Titan, I'm like, I would be plenty happy to have 3 amulets, but I don't think it translates in quite the same way with Ether Vial.
No, the only matchup you might want that with is if you're like on one land and you're playing against control or something, but even then it's not great. 2 sometimes is alright because you can leave one at 2 and take one up to 3.
So Manny probably bringing in, what do you think, Sin Collector maybe comes in.
Well, Ariak Champion is the card that really stonewalls Grixis Shadow.
Sure.
And I've seen lists play up to 4 of those, but at least 2 of them. And so I feel like that is probably coming in. Even though Andrew is, like the Grixis Shadow list nowadays are maybe only on their Kolaghan's Command and Liliana the Last Hopes as a one-of in the sideboard, I feel like if Manny is playing an Anafinza, that might come in just because it's a big creature that could then put counters on like a freebooter or your other creatures.
Looks like at least 2 champions, a Tajik. That might have been a Lavinia.
I'll be on the play.
Tajik seems all right to be able to just get another hasty threat in there along with Mantis Rider. And I could also see an argument for the
Not expecting.
what is the Eidolon of Rhetoric, or Eidolon of the Great Ripple that's a human with the gain drain effect?
Comball.
Comball.
Console of
I could see
Allocation.
if you have Comball bringing that in for sure because 0 and a lot of the Turbo Xerox things going with this Legacy deck, the Thought Scours, the Ops, or Serum Visions, Sleight of Hand, whichever version Andrew's playing.
I think I should have attacked with that noble.
I do like combo. I definitely think it's better on the play here.
Fetch, like maybe that matters. Maybe he's in a position where he needs that fourth land because of Thalia and
Yeah.
not being able to life for things. I don't know.
Combo, a card that's come in a bit more in Legacy of late as well.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I've noticed in Legacy, a lot of the Stoneblade or Miracles list are playing Palace Jailer, which used to be just a Death and Taxes staple.
Yeah, I must say I am somewhat glad that Monarch is not a mechanic in Modern. I think it's the type of mechanic that makes the game too much about just that mechanic.
Good luck. You too.
All right, and just if we've got some new folks tuning in here, this is Portland Paper. We stream Modern every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We got 4 rounds here from Guardian Games in Portland, and we do some other events. You can always check out our Twitter or go to our just Twitch page and look at our schedule of events. But we've got Modern coming up this Thursday at 7 o'clock, and next Wednesday at 6:30 we have a Legacy Cash event, along with our regular Modern Mondays. And Manny's got a turn 1 Champion of the Parish, which is always a strong start out of humans. We might have that little scrying effect with the bauble here for Andrew. Yeah, and if folks feel like subscribing or following, that's great, especially if you have Amazon Prime. You can do that kind of for free. But yeah, we're trying to do more events here, get some more equipment, do a couple camera setups, but any support that people throw at us help a lot, and we enjoy bringing you quality paper Magic coverage here in the greater Northwest area. If you have any events that you'd be curious about coverage for, feel free to reach out to us as well.
Inquisition.
Bobble fetch into Inquisition, so it seems like Andrew might not have really valued the card on top.
3 lands.
A promo Sin
Oh,
Collector,
that's what it was. Yeah, I thought that was Lavinia, but
a Lieutenant, and some lands.
so if he takes the Lieutenant, do you assume that he has another discard spell? Well, okay.
Uh,
You're upkeep. Drop a bubble.
maybe Andrew trying to preserve life total there, doesn't want to grow the champion with that Lieutenant.
Looks like maybe Manny picked up the late Ether Vial.
Yeah, the turn 2 Ether Vial.
Territory?
Man, is this a game where you stop attacking for a little bit? No, you probably just have to go for it.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully you're drawing into a Reflector Mage. Humans is sometimes sideboarding and Dismember nowadays as well, an actual spell that they can cast off colorless land.
He does have a Horizon Canopy in hand as well. Manny does. So he has a cycle available.
All right, we got a main phase Fatal Push there for Andrew.
And pass the turn.
Tin cigarette? Thalia?
In response to.
Okay, we have a Thalia on the stack, and a response with another Fatal Push on the Thalia's Lieutenant.
Wait, he should. Okay. I see.
Oh, okay, hold
I was
on
going
a
to say, he
second.
can't respond to the trigger. He can respond to the casting.
You are correct. Thank you.
Keeping Manny in line there.
I had to go yell
That'll-
at Manny.
That
I'm
old
back.
Ether Vial thing. It's always hard when you're playing a deck that you feel like is not negatively affected by your own cards. It's very easy to forget that in fact there are these corner cases where it is negatively affected by your own cards. I found that playing Ether Sworn Canonist in Maverick a couple times in Legacy.
Uh,
I was like, this is just bad for you, right? Nope.
Okay, did I miss anything important?
Nope.
Oh. It's like we have an announced angler. We're deciding how we're going to pay cost here.
I like leaving a couple fatal pushes.
That's good. Pass to you.
All right. Leaving a few pushes in the graveyard, just as you suspected. See if Manny can draw anything but lands.
I believe he's just got that Aether Vial and another land, so I'd crack it, look for something interesting.
Okay.
Ooh, what was that?
Looks like a champion.
Champion of
I thought it was an Ariak champion at first, and I thought, well, that's quite the pickup.
Man, Andrew's still at 14. I might even consider just going aggressive with this angler.
Oh, I'm definitely attacking if I'm Andrew, for sure. We have a very deep conversation about Goryo's Vengeance Grizzlebrand thing going on in the chat here.
Chat's just been off on their own tangent.
We support and encourage that.
Yeah.
Sharing of information is an important and
Do your
fun
thing,
to
chat. You work out what you got to work out.
No apologies needed. Yeah, it's great. All right, we have 2 mana paid for that Aether Vial now.
That's what I'm talking about.
All right. Oh.
3 and 2 life to
Oh.
dismember Thalia.
Okay, so Andrew's going to pay 3 mana for the tax effect of Thalia and 2 life. And we'll take 1 to go to 11.
All right, I take it back. I prefer to be on the Death Shadow side of this matchup now. Forget what I said before we started. I'm kind of a fair weather caster.
Is this what we call flip-flopping?
I prefer to think of it as bandwagoning.
Oh, okay. At least they're not circling the wagons.
1 card in hand.
It's only if you're marching bandwagoning.
Whew.
Don't worry, Chad. I won't be back next week.
All right, 2-turn clock. Thoughtseize, joke's on you, Andrew.
Got nothing.
Well, you have another Aether Vial.
2 cards?
Yep.
I'm just guessing one of those 2 cards is the Snapcaster. I feel it in my heart of hearts.
Swinging 2 for 1.
Manny's like, you know what? I have all this land. This Aether Vial doesn't matter. We're leaving it at 0.
New Thalia.
Ugh, it's just not enough.
Look at that ordering, that sequencing. It's so strong.
Manny's adopting the posture that I also adopt when I have less hope.
When you have no cards in hand.
Yeah. When I got nothing to do but just stare at the board.
How do you feel about, say, Colligan's command on the draw step? Is that going to happen?
That seems good here.
Yeah. Oh, okay. We're putting a counter on the vial this turn.
Is that what you've been forgetting? Is that why you're just like...
Forgot that. I played my Thalia out of order. Like, everything's all sideways.
Manny noting that this game has gone sideways. Somewhere along the way.
Well, I would say at least there's been a Gurmag angler that's gone sideways.
Ooh, Travis.
Hey. Are we going to get the trigger? Oh, okay, we get the trigger here.
Nice.
I'm going to...
How many creatures are we going to attack with?
I vote 1.
I vote 1 too.
I vote Thalia.
Huh. I kind of like swinging with the 3/3 for 4, because then you're saying,
Oh yeah, you're making it a 1-turn clock. All right, I can get on board. Is this enough to draw? Okay.
This is the most mana I've seen Death Shadow pay for Dismembers, maybe, and the time that Death Shadow has been a deck in Modern.
Yeah, Andrew's he's all about the full cost Dismember.
And Andrew's been hanging on to 2 cards for a while.
All right. Pass the turn.
One of them is not Temur Battle Rage.
Yeah, apparently.
Oh, well.
2 cards still.
2 cards.
That was a Mantis Rider that we had off the top there.
Unfortunately, Manny has entered what some call the abyss.
Whew, so this is an interesting one.
How dead am I if you have a removal spell?
I feel like you just attack with the Mantis Rider in this point. Because you're not... I mean,
Yep.
yeah.
I agree.
I'm gonna swing with the Mantis Rider. For 3.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not getting there next turn.
Oh, I'm rooting very hard for Manny because I do kind of want to see a game 3. And it's looked so bad for Manny.
Yeah, it has. It's
Let's go the 2.
when you're losing to people casting Dismembers for full cost. I thought Andrew just said go to 2, so it's possible I have life totals wrong.
Yeah, I did just hear Andrew say that, so we may have missed a fetch or a shock or who knows what.
Oh, this
Thoughts,
deck
Ace?
does a lot of stuff, so it's the end of the night. Is chat still on their tangent, or are they back? Nope, haven't reined him back in yet.
We do have kind of a game here, though.
Oh yeah.
Well, you can't not block Manny, and I don't recommend double blocking.
Okay.
Me either.
Yep.
What? What do we got?
Play a shadow. Pass to you.
Big ol' shadow.
Whoa.
Well, I
Okay.
either have life totals wrong, or Manny's just gonna win here.
I'm hoping for a Phantasmal Image right now. Oh, no, he took up the vial.
Swing for 3.
All right, you got it.
Holy God.
Whoa! Wow.
Kept waiting for the other shoe to drop.
Yep. Going to game 3, folks.
Well, Manny just said he kept waiting for the other shoe to drop, but I guess there weren't any shoes.
Yeah. What was Andrew sitting on the whole time? He looked very satisfied with whatever he was sitting on.
I feel like that's the posturing of when you've drawn for like 3 turns in a row fetch lands or something, and you don't want to have that just really dejected look, that you have the posture of like, oh, I totally have this. You should probably block with everything.
I found the 3 fetch lands I was looking for. Sometimes I try and just look like I'm really satisfied with the art on my cards if I'm not satisfied with what they actually do.
I usually
I
try-
reframed the issue.
Okay. Oh gosh. Oh, that was a deep take there. I'm not a big fan of hand shuffling, but I always try to like move a card to the front and maybe separate it and then count out mana. That's my favorite way.
He's such a control player. Counting mana.
Maybe make some piles with your lands, like okay,
A
Snapcaster, and then
cryptic pile, and
make sure I have black for push. Okay, I got those.
put Celestial Colonnade out a little farther and in the half creature, half land zone.
Okay, well Andrew gets to be on the play here, and wow, I'm still surprised that we're watching Magic right now.
Yeah, what happened? Oh, that game was so close that chat is finally off their tangent and talking about the game. We've done it.
So we get a bobble, maybe acting as an upgraded temple land, the fetch, and Andrew likes what's on top.
Unclench our territory. Go ahead.
No 1-drop for Manny.
I like Andrew playing his baubles with no marker to remember, and he has not missed a bauble trigger. And I'm willing to bet that he probably does not miss many.
I just kind of assumed those without saying. But I realized
He probably does not miss Manny.
Oh. Whew.
I gotta get a little label maker.
And so we get the Shockland tapped. So that's Andrew maybe telegraphing that I have plenty of shocks, or street race, or thought seizes in my hand, and I don't need to aggressively use my life total, or there's no Death Shadow hanging out.
In position.
Unclaimed territory.
All right, let's see what Manny's working with.
Ooh, Reflector Mage,
That
Reflector
seems-
Mage, Image, Meddling Mage.
That seems very solid in this matchup.
Yeah, it would be nice to have an aggressive 1 or 2 drop to pair with that, but that does look, yeah, Reflector Mage is a strong card.
It's probably just getting pushed or bolted anyway. Or, you know, full cost dismembered.
Let's take the meddling mage.
Alright, Meddling Mage, hit in the bin. Kind of makes sense. Take Manny's, play on 2.
Yeah, if he's got the soul read and he can meddling mage and then copy the meddling mage and just lock out. Maybe
Yep.
bolt and push, or just, you know, lock out 2 removal spells.
Looks like we changed our mind here.
Oh.
Okay, so that was like next level bluffing where you're like, I'm going to take the Meddling Mage. No, you can have it. So then you make Manny think
Yeah.
really hard what you've got in your hand. Put some self-doubt in the mixture there.
Are you more into, like, in the dark, are you more into lightning bolt or fatal push with the meddling mage?
I would say Fatal Push. I know Grixis Shadow sometimes only plays 1 bolt. They may have gone up to 2 recently. It seems like there's a couple folks that play a lot of Shadow, Ben Friedman being one of them, who post updated list pretty regularly. But yeah, I would say more pushes are in the deck than there are bolts.
Or do you maybe go after dismember?
Take one off with my.
I mean, Andrew's been playing pretty conservatively with his life total, so...
Yeah, we got Fatal Push named.
All right.
You're up.
Yeah, chat pointing out that push kills Singing the Ice, which is kind of a premier 2-drop threat in Modern right now and the most popular deck. Plus it kills a lot of other things, and Lightning Bolt, I would say, is better in decks where you're going to be like really aggressive. But yeah, push killing thing is very important.
Yeah, it feels like bolt is maybe a bit of a low point.
Yeah,
Of late.
I feel like damage as removal spells that are 3 or less, like Bolt and Gutshot, are not being played as much recently.
Collective brutality.
Oh. Looks like we brought in some Collective Brutalities from the sideboard.
Choosing not to escalate.
I have 16.
Not grabbing in
Did you have another fast
an
one?
instant or sorcery out of
2 blood spells.
Manny's hand.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, draining seems terrible, doesn't it? It's been a long night, chat.
4 cards.
Yeah.
I feel like Esper Control is sort of a little bit of a flash in the pan, because if you look at the list, they're on like
Unclaimed territory.
3 Nihil spell bombs, like 2 Kayas, and it's basically like like in a format where everyone's playing graveyard stuff, then that's good, but any other format, I feel like Jeskai is better.
You're
And
just saying that because you don't want it to be good.
I mean, I've even seen in recent blue-white list, like, main decking 3 relics along with like 2 or 3 snapcasters, but that just feels like something is wrong.
I love main deck. I love me a main deck relic. I think relic does a lot of duties at this point. With people running surgical extractions main deck, you can target your own graveyard to stop important things like Primeval Titan from being gone forever.
I love that we're having a conversation about, like, yeah, main deck relic's all right when people are playing main deck surgical extractions. Well,
Yeah.
that's, to me, that there's there's some things that need addressing, but that's not what we're here for.
Well, that's why we've added the London Mulligan rule. It should solve everything.
So Andrew does need to develop a threat here. Oh,
Snapcaster, flashback Inquisition.
wow.
I have Reflector Mage, Phantasmal Mage, and 2 lands.
Wow, so all the way back to his original choice with Inquisition, he's going to be able to hit both Reflector Mages and strand that
If
Phantasmal
yeah.
Image.
Phantasmal Image copying a Thalia does it's not
Is that
like
Athalia's Lieutenant, though?
Oh.
Can he drop Image Lieutenant this turn?
Ooh, is that the
that would
pickup?
be very strong. I don't know, it's always hard to tell. It's a white card with a lot of dark colors.
Play an Ancient Cigarette. Take 1 off of Rising Canopy. Thalia's
That's a
Lieutenant.
bingo, chat.
18.
That's a bingo.
I would say that's a pretty good turn right there.
Copy Lieutenant.
Yeah, it seems real good.
Let's pretend I tapped my mana right for this. Is that alright?
Sure.
'Cause I have the Ziggurat specifically so that I can cast the Phantasmal Mage.
Manny says, let's pretend I tapped my mana correctly, if that's all right. Andrew says, all right.
That's a, being a good sport. You know, 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 4 rounds of Magic. Sometimes it doesn't seem like a lot when you think of Grand Prix, but we're just normal humans. And that's a lot of thinking.
Yeah, looting banning. I think it's an inevitable thing. It'll probably be a little while though, because with the whole Mulligan rule plus Modern Horizons, I think they're gonna just let things settle out and see what's up. I'm curious what's up too, but unless something drastically changes.
That's a zombie fish.
It used to be my favorite creature type, but Bounding Crisis may have beat out Zombie Fish.
What's that one?
You should pull a Bounding Crisis. It's got a really
Alright,
cool
fine.
creature type.
You're going to make me miss life totals again.
1/1 Death Shadow.
I'll person the buttons and make sure we're not missing anything.
Alright. Fish lizard.
Oh no, even better than that, what I meant to say is Hydroid Crisis.
Oh yeah, jellyfish something. You got me with fish lizard. Alright, let's get back to the game, Travis.
Sorry. Okay, we got some decisions to make over here. We have a 1/1 Death Shadow. We have a Snapcaster Mage and a Gurmag Angler. Andrew's got 2 cards in hand.
Critically, Manny does not have any flyers on board, and these are the moments where Death Shadow is actually in a decent spot. Looks like a Fatal Push in hand for Andrew as well.
Noble Hierarch.
Okay. So 4/4.
Now attacking gets kind of awkward too.
2/2.
Yeah.
Play Horizon Canopy as my land.
You really want to have a flyer here if you're
The Exalted.
Manny.
Alright, we have 5 with an Exalted Trigger, and Sally is going to just eat the push.
Pushed off a cliff.
Which, it seems like an alright
Oh,
sequence
yeah.
of events for Manny.
I'm plenty happy to lose Thalia here.
One card in hand.
He's got a Horizon Canopy to crack, so he's got two draws here to hit more creatures, and every draw is pumping his lieutenants, so I think Andrew's got to find a way to get aggressive here.
Curious if Shadow is running an Is It Staticaster in the sideboard currently.
Would be good here.
Andrew kept the card off opt. Oh,
That'll play.
And I will tick down.
looks like we're gonna have Manny sacrifice a creature, I feel like we,
Bye, Noble Hierarch.
yeah, that's the one I think I'm going to say goodbye to. Might use it for mana to crack the canopy before, though.
I think he... Did
Or
he not
just
just
deploy
play
it?
it? I think he just deployed it.
Oh, you're correct.
I'm gonna crack the horizon canopy.
Getting some additional information before he boots the Hierarch out the door.
I was too busy trying to think of what creature type Hydroid Crisis was. I think it's something weird like salamander, fish, lizard.
I think it's jelly. I know it's
Oh, it's a
jellyfish.
jellyfish,
There's
right.
like jellyfish, hydra, and then something else. Maybe like beast. All right, fine. I'm gonna look it up.
You called it jellyfish, hydra, beast. I feel like that's a little bit cooler than zombie fish.
All right.
Okay, Manny decides to sack the Hierarch.
For like at least a week, I was really high on this in Amulet Titan. But then I got a little lower on it. And then I traded mine away so that I could not be high on it anymore.
Alright, we get some cast triggers, or some inner battlefield triggers, and Mantis Rider was cast. Looks like it's probably going to eat that Liliana.
He's got the flyer.
Return back to you.
That's kind of the critical piece here. A couple pretty large blockers.
We're getting a full match here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. This is what we signed up for, chat. Real Magic cards. We didn't really visit the spice corner much today.
No, usually Humans has at least some kind of spicy one or two of. Didn't see anything. It's not over yet.
Either I'm gonna guess that I have life totals wrong
Yep.
because. Oh no, I guess Andrew has two
Two
fetches
fetches.
up.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. This is reasonable.
And Andrew has done a really good job of just like fluffing confidence.
Notably, one of the first times he does not have his hands on the table. Oh, we're back.
How low can we go?
I do like the attack. I think Andrew can't just sit back and get beat down by Mantis Rider and not do anything. And I'd rather attack a little bit earlier and use the fetch lands so that he can spend 6 for a dismember later.
I'll just go to 9.
Okay, Andrew going to 9.
So 4 and 5, hitting me for 9.
Looks like Manny's going to 9 as well.
9's all around.
We're at 9. Everybody's at 9. Pass the turn.
This makes it a lot more difficult for Manny on his next turn if he can't kill Andrew outright here.
I think I see is it a bunch of lands and an Aether Vial?
Probably. Manny loves hands with just lands and vials.
Oh, it looks like our clock was a little bit off. We had time in round, so we're at turn 0 right now.
All right.
Suspense builds. Well, we're definitely coming in with the Mantis Rider.
So
Okay.
just the rider.
So if Manny came in with both, maybe Andrew would have
Yep.
chump blocked. Who knows? That was an interesting decision to make.
Yeah.
Ho! Thoughtscar. Swing and...
It does feel like Andrew has more live top decks to win the game here. Let's see, Manny's got Mantis Riders, he's got Phantasmal Images. I don't think he's going to be able to get through on the ground. So I think he has to...
Ooh.
He needs to get in the air with the Mantis Rider.
And do you just block the shadow?
Oof.
This guy is 7-7.
7-7.
So, well, you have to block the shadow. So,
Could be huger. So if you have
I
two
guess you
battle rages,
toss
then
the image in front of the shadow.
3, 6.
I think you just toss the image in front of the shadow, and
So don't block as if you have two.
That's
battle
it.
rage.
Yeah, I haven't heard the phrase YOLO in a while, but...
Yikes.
I think looks like Manny's slowly coming to
Okay.
the same assessment.
I'm at 4.
And Manny going to 4. Okay, so this is going to be a big one.
it's tough because Manny's got 2 Reflector Mages in graveyard, so
Alright. Your go.
he probably doesn't have that many Reflector Mages to
I guess we
draw
have Phantasmal
to.
Image.
Yeah, image, anything, a Mantis Rider or Image Unrider probably just wins the game. I guess it does because Andrew's got no cards in hand.
Play the land. Play champion.
I mean, that'll play here.
Swing for 3 in the air.
Whew. So we are
That's-
at turn 2, going to
that's
turn 3 right now.
Actually pretty solid. I think Andrew actually has to, I mean, he's got to top deck something relevant. The champion chumps the Death Shadow. The Thalia's Lieutenant's bigger than the Angler at this point. And I like the swing with everything. So you got to figure it's not a...
Definitely blocking there.
I guess it could be a
Definitely
bolt.
blocking there.
No, not a bolt.
This has to be Battle Rage, or you lose.
All right. Deal.
I'm gonna block that.
If Manny blocks everything. Good windmill slam. What do we got? What do we got?
Manny just asking for
Oh,
punishment.
yeah.
Wow.
All right.
All right.
All right. Manny got there. And yeah, we ran kind of late today. We are at an establishment that closes at 10. So we are going to probably pack it up pretty quick here. But I thank everyone for coming out, hanging out in chat. Yeah, we do this every Monday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Feel free to follow us or subscribe, go to our Twitter, all that social media jazz. We have a couple other events coming up. This Thursday at 7, we've got another Modern stream, and next Wednesday we have Legacy at 6:30, a little cash tournament. But yeah, every Monday we're here. And thanks for hanging out and doing commentary with me, Ian, and I hope everyone has an awesome week.
Thanks, chat. We're out.
Champion seems